Revenge of the Cybermen. All right, this is the final story in Tom Baker's first season as the Doctor, the one and only, the best Doctor. My personal favorite is John Pertwee, but Tom Baker's the best Doctor, let's face the facts. This is a four-parter. I like this one. Let's talk about it using my space system. So story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2's the best that you can get in any category. If I thought the story was garbage, it's a 0. If I thought the story was good, it's a 2. It's a 1. If I thought the story was amazing, it's a 2. So that's how it works. If you get 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, it's like, that was okay, right? I'm ranking these stories against themselves and Doctor Who. So I'm not ranking, Doctor Who's my favorite show. So I'm not comparing this to an episode of like the A-Team or something, which I also really do like. I'm ranking it against itself, right? It's Doctor Who, it's classic Who, so there's gonna be, they always say the wobbly sets, though I think that's kind of a lie because there's really not that many wobbly sets, to be honest. And I look for that now and I don't really see it, but you know what I'm saying. So the artistry category, there's a level of, that the budgets were limited. I'm going by how much, if we take what was the best looking classic Doctor Who episode and set that as your bar, that's how we're going to do it. For the storyline on this one, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I actually kind of like the storyline. This has the Voga with the whole gold being the Cybermen's weakness thing, the Cybermat. I'm not sure if this is the first Cyberman. I can't remember. You got to remember, I've watched these like years ago when they're coming out on DVD, so it's been a while. I have revisited this entire first Tom Baker season on Blu-ray, so I've been upgrading my Blu-rays as we've been going. I like the storyline. It was pretty cool. We've got that Kelman character who's sort of like a double agent. Then he's in it for himself. No, he's with them. No, he's against them. So I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you already know the story. So I'm not going to get into a lot of plot details. I'm just giving you my quick opinion. I don't want these videos to be super long because there's actually a lot of Doctor Who to go through. So there's a lot of great channels out there that do in-depth analysis. So you're not going to really get that here. I'm just going to do it quickly. So yeah, I like the storyline. Look, it's not Ark in Space or Genesis of the Daleks or anything, but man, it's pretty good. I thought it was cool. They're in the caves at one point with the bombs and everything strapped to them. That's kind of neat. So there's a lot of cool things going on in it. For the pacing, I'm going to give it a 1. It's 4 parts. I feel like it probably could have been 3 parts, but 3 is a weird number to use. So I guess push comes to shove, 4 parts is fine. I wasn't bored or anything like that, but I just felt that like it could have gotten a little bit quicker, like just come on, get on with it. Remember from Holy Grail. So yeah, still, it's still good. The pacing's okay. That's that. Artistry, I'm actually gonna give the artistry a 2 out of 2. The Voga look awesome. The Cybermen are awesome. I love the Cybermen, period. Just full stop. Voga guys, they look wicked, like really good. The makeup, the masks, whatever, like it looks awesome. They're in the caves at one point. I like when there's like many different locations and they're not the same. So it's not just the rock quarry, right? There's like ships, there's different planets, there's caves in those things. So there's a lot of cool different locations in this one. I thought this is really kind of looking pretty good, actually. Maybe by this time maybe production values were increased by this time, because going back and thinking back through all the ones you've watched, you're like, okay, like, they look okay. But even like Ark in Space was pretty awesome too, but like this is like super cool. So I really like the artistry here. Everything looks good. Characters, 2 out of 2. I gotta give it a 2 out of 2 for characters, man. Like, first of all, everyone knows Harry Sullivan. I'm like a super Harry Sullivan fan. Sarah Jane obviously is one of the best companions of all time, second best for me, so that's a no-brainer. Tom Baker's the best Doctor. So I mean, look, these 3, that's solid. But actually, everyone in this is pretty good. They gave you a bit more interesting characters in this one, I found, than normal. You kind of have your baddies and then that's it. And then sometimes you got the humans helping the baddies or whatever. But I did like Kelman. I did like this like, I don't want to say gray area, because Doctor Who's not like super gray. Like, who the bad guys are, who the good guys are. But sometimes they introduce within the characters a little bit of shades of gray. A little bit more depth to some of the characters. I think they did pretty good on this one. Even within the Vogans, I always want to call them Vogons. I don't. It's for Hitchhiker's Guide. You can get out of my head. I could keep wanting to call them Vogons. Voga, I guess, is that the plural? Yeah, like even amongst them, there's a lot of cool character stuff where they're kind of trying to figure out what's the best course of action and stuff. So yeah, I like the characters here. Yeah, I'm giving it two out of two. Enjoyment factor, gotta give it a 2 out of 2, man. It's friggin' Tom Baker. Like, what the heck? Tom Baker, Sarah Jane Harry. Look, I mean, just Tom Baker. I don't think, so we're going through all these. I don't think there's going to be a Tom Baker story where I'm not going to give it a 2 out of 2 or at least a 1.5 for enjoyment. Just him walking around and talking is like immediately awesome. This is the thing that I think people have been missing out. I know some people don't get into classic Who. There's some people who watch Doctor Who, the newer ones, New Who, and they haven't gone back. And I actually feel a bit bad that they haven't gone back. They really need to go back, because I also think you can't be the true fan if you're not going back and watching. And I don't mean go on Wikipedia and read what happened. Go back and watch them. Watch the performances, watch the different doctors. And I can tell right away, as soon as someone tells me, oh, my favorite doctor or the best doctor is X, and then they always say like David Tennant or something. And look, David Tennant is like top 5 for me, right? Like for sure. Maybe top 6 probably for sure. But when you go back and you watch, like, I mean, William Hartnell, it was a kind of a different show. I love William Hartnell, actually. I think he is in my top 5. There's something real special about him. He is the first. He's the first. Yeah, and Patrick Troughton is just so he's really kind of fun, and it just feels like very light. And then John Pertwee, like, just so cool. He just seems so cool. You're like, yeah, man. Like, I think John Pertwee was the first time where you're like, yeah, I want to be the Doctor, man. I want to be this guy. He's awesome, right? And then Tom Baker is just like, I mean, beyond words. Like, he's just like the greatest thing ever. You have to really watch it. And you watch videos like, oh, Tom Baker's the best. There's a reason why he did it for a long time as well. Depending on your age, you could have grown up with him as literally as your only doctor. Like, I know a lot of people here in Canada, they thought like, Scarf Guy, that's Doctor Who. Like, they thought that is. So if the next season comes on, they're like, oh, the next guy will wear the scarf and just have the same costume. He'll just be a different actor. He'll wear a wig. It's like, no, he regenerates to different people, different actors. Like, oh, okay. But yeah, Tom Baker's considered the best for a reason. I strongly suggest you go back. A lot of these, I think all of them are on Tubi. Now, I own all these on DVD or Blu-ray, but they're all on Tubi. So, go watch them. And start wherever you feel comfortable. Like, if you want to start with Tom Baker, start with him. I've given you can go through my playlist of Doctor Who. I've given you the first season of John Pertwee reviews. I've given you the first season now. This is the last one of the Tom Baker's first. I'm probably gonna do Peter Capaldi's first next. I'm just gonna do these in weird. I'm doing it timey-wimey. I'm not gonna do it in order. Timey-wimey is all over the place. I think you should do it. Do it. And if you're going to do it, let me know, because I'd like to, see what your journey is like going through these. And remember too, the budget of the show and the time when it was created, and there's a lot of restrictions on it. For all of these factors, I think it's like great. It is my favorite show of all time. So there you go. That is it for this review. I will see you next time. And if you do like this kind of thing, please like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time.